folks. This morning cream is from Vie Long. This one here is Fruit Fusion, and on the back it tells you quite a bit about what's inside, especially the tea tree oil and what all it can do for your skin. It comes in a box that looks like this. Once again, there tells you all about it right there. It's going to be kind of hard to catch it, but imprinted on this side as well as the other side, it looks like this. It's got the name imprinted right in it. It's pretty cool. Don't always see this sort of thing in a box like this. You can find this at a Italian barber, and I think right now it's selling for $3.99 a tube. And sure does make it a whole lot easier to get a hold of through the Italian barber, as opposed to trying to hunt it down on eBay every time you want something like this. Got the alum block, no rubber band this morning. I got mentholated witch hazel from Stirling, that's black ice in it, and also going to match the well, the topper we'll call it. It's going to be Citrus Blast from Yulay, and I'm using, still got some left, not a whole lot left. I say a whole lot. I'm less than half on Cremo beard oil. It's tea tree and mint. It's got some shaven sailor beard oil mixed in with it. The blade of the day is the one I mentioned yesterday, is Eddison, and this one here comes in a 10-pack also. It comes wrapped like they're super stainless, I think is what it says on there. Yeah, and of course it tells you do not wipe, rinse, and shake dry. And the shaver of the day, now this one here is a Parker 14R, I believe is what the model number. This one here, there's 3 different models of one that's similar to this. This one here is the darker horn, and then there's one that's got a little bit of, I guess you might say, more color added to it, and then there's one that's more blonde. And this one here, I guess you might refer to it as a standard head. There's a very slight overhang right there for those that shave underneath the nose, but I guess you might say it would be their standard head, if you will. And that is a horn, not imitation. That's the real deal there. I've got it whipped up here, the shaving cream. Got it whipped up here in my bowl where I got it at the thrift store. This one here, this is a horsehair knot. Matter of fact, this was the first one of this style that I ever bought. This one here, I guess you might say what I would call a good painter, as goes for painting on the shaving cream. I'm gonna have to sneeze. No, excuse me. Mercy. Sorry about that. They don't like it either. Anyway, I've already put a hot towel to the face this morning, and this is what I keep my pre-shave in. It gives it a chance to dry and something like that. That is that particular piece of plastic that's ventilated on the bottom. It's what you put on top of a vegetable can to strain out all the water and keep all the vegetables in the can. That's what I'm using. Now, Phoenix Artisan Accoutrement makes a pad for the cube, and that pad for the cube would work just as well for this unscented pre-shave soap that's mentholated. It's as ice, in other words. And I think this one here runs about, I think it's $4.99. Excuse me. It's not in my opinion, it's not really expensive for as long, especially if you get the cube. Cube lasts quite a while. Definitely pick up the menthol. I treated this shaving cream like I should have Cremo yesterday. Started with just a damp brush and then added water to it. This will be my first time using this shaving cream, so I'm going to see how it works for me. There's Italian Barber has 4 different flavors of this shaving cream. And it comes from India, by the way. I don't think I've mentioned that. As well as the razor. and my nose can pick up a bit of the fruit. Today's Friday for me. It's a short week this week. I only had 3 days of work with Christmas Eve being off, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. I think the newer style of this, it may be kind of hard to see. Can I see the end of that handle? I don't think that's on there anymore. I think they cut it off before that. So in other words, the handle's a little bit different style than this one here. And it comes in a pretty nice box too. Yesterday I used Viking Sword, and this one here Eddison comes from Israel. And if you look at the link that I've got down below, it'll mention Persona as the company that makes these blades from Israel. I should keep that in mind. That website that I have a link for the razor blades I've been using quite frequently throughout this month is a pretty good source of information about the razor blades, the country of origin, whether it's got a coating of Teflon or polymer or whatever it happens to be. Or if it's just a stainless steel blade. For me, it's, I guess you might say, my go-to place for, especially if you're looking for a pack of 100 of a particular blade. May not be always, but most of the time they're going to have probably the best price on your 100 packs, most likely. Every once in a while you might find a place on Amazon that might beat you. But most of the time it's going to be I guess you might say, the better price. Order a pack of 100, and if I remember right, your shipping is free, so then you can order your individual blades that you're wanting to try out. Every once in a while you'll see some new blades that'll pop in there that I haven't seen before. Still got quite a bit left on the face this morning. See what the against the grain and across the grain pass does for it. Still smelling the fruit. I know there's different kinds of fruit. This one here, I don't know that I would say that it's more citrus. As opposed to berry. I don't think it's berry. I really don't pick up orange. On the picture there they show kiwi, and I'm wondering if that's the one I'm picking up more of, is the kiwi and maybe some strawberry, as opposed to raspberry, blueberry, or anything quite like that. I do have a soap that I'll be using here pretty soon. I'll try to save it for a video when I'm shaving with the shave head, trying to use both hands instead of just one. I have a soap that's got blueberry in it. And I'll put a link down below to Joy's video on YouTube when he used the I think it was this same no, I think it was the lime shaving cream. He's the one that I guess you might say turned me on to it. saw his video and then decided to start looking for it. And then one day I noticed that Italian barber had it, so I ordered some. I have to say the blade's working rather well this morning. Typically for me, a stainless steel blade isn't too terribly smooth. This one here is working out pretty well. Across the grain seemed to pick up a lot more of the whiskers that were being left over. Still got this spot speck over there, pretty typical. Would say about maybe medium on the aggressiveness. Maybe I would put it on the lower end of the spectrum of medium. In other words, a smooth shaver, match it up with the blade that works best for you. I do like these brushes. I've got 3 of them total, and like I said, they are very good painter brushes. With the loft that they have on these brushes, these bristles are, you can see, pretty flexible. And the in case you might say, the style that I lather with in the bowl, I have a strong tendency, and especially in this bowl here, that I pretty much lather from the side instead of focusing in the middle of the bowl. I work the sides of the bowl most of the time, and it seems to help with these kind of brushes that have a lot of loft on the bristles, not to get them tangled up. That might be the reason why I have such good luck with these brushes. I don't have an issue with them getting tangled up, lathering from the outside and working my way down from time to time, down to the center. It's worked well for me, lathering this way. For me, it gives me the opportunity to watch the cream or the soap mature into the lather that I'm looking for. In other words, I take my time and, I guess you might say, appreciate the process. To me, doing it that way gave me a better understanding of how the lather develops. It's going pretty smooth. I like this handle. It is a little bit longer, but the way that it's shaped through there, I guess you might say that bulb right there, makes it pretty handy to hang on to. The website I put a link for this one here is Modern Man, and the reason why I put that link there is typically these shavers will be right around the $30 mark, maybe a little bit less. And that website's based in the UK. I know most of the time here stateside, most of these shavers, when you can find them available in stock, they have a tendency to run, I think, right around the $60 mark. So that website has been my go-to website for this sort of thing. This is the only one I have like this. I had made a mention in a comment with Jill. It's either Jill, no, I think it was Flash. Anyway, going back and forth talking about Parker razors with both of them. That I do have a weakness for Parker razors, in that for me, I find them, how can you say, affordable on a regular basis. And for me, they work rather well. I started with a Parker. Matter of fact, I need to squeeze that in by the end of the month. My first Parker was the 48R, and Flash has got the one that I was really struggling with. It's got the one Flash has the really nice fancy handle to it, and I looked at that and I looked at that, but the 48R that's got the brass, it looks like it's brushed, and then the offset with the chrome really looks nice. Just that contrast looks great. And I was really struggling between the two because I wanted both of them. I still don't have the other one just yet because there's others that, like this one here, that popped up at a time where I could get this much cheaper than what I was originally looking at. Before I would see them, it's like, wow, you know, it'd be nice to have one like that. Just one, at least one in the den, just to see what it would be like to have one. I guess you might say up close and personal. And I went with this one first. And you can kind of tell there's the natural color of the horns. In other words, it's not a solid black. And the other two models, there's another model that's dark, but it's got more color, I guess you might say, mixed in with it. At least that's the thought process with it. At least that's the way I interpret it. I know I'd have a lot of fun selling Parker razors. Like I say, they come closer to being affordable, and like I say, I haven't had any issues with the quality control. Just like most other places, when you make a bazillion of something, every once in a while you're going to have one that's not quite right. It's going to happen. You know, the odds are in that favor. There's going to be one every once in a while, for whatever the reason, get by quality control and there'll be an issue with them. The biggest issue I've heard of recent history would be with the variant, which most people are aware of, that black handled, the black coming off on the handle, which doesn't affect the shave any much. You know, when you're spending, you know, your money, you'd like to get something of quality that's not going to flake off on you like that. Like I say, that's the one I ordered to begin with, was the black handled Parker variant, and ended up with the other one accidentally being sent to me. I kept it because I really wanted the variant. I really had my heart set on that one. I was going to get it one day, and I wanted it sooner than later. Very good shave this morning. I am finding no stinging. I think that's another reason why I started with Parker, and to a degree, a lot of their shavers have a particular weight right around the 3-ounce mark. Some are lighter, some a little bit more, but you know, right around 3 ounces, and that is a sweet spot for me, as goes for weight. And these heads, as goes for the 3-piece heads, are fairly standard. And once you learn how to use them, let the weight of the razor, sharpness of the blade do the work. Once you get that down, for me, these shavers are just, they hit the sweet spot for me. With my beard type being heavy, as it goes for, you know, you can see how thick this is, and especially the growth of where it gets real dense, especially right around in here, it'll get really dense. This weight and the sharpness of the blade will cut through it a lot easier. Then it's more challenging for me to try to use a lightweight shaver. One of these days, I'll probably spend a lot more time, I guess you might say, devoted to working, perfecting, I guess you might say, working with a lightweight shaver. It takes me a little bit of effort right now just to get a good shave. In other words, I really have to focus. It's about, not quite like, but it'd be similar to shaving with the shavette. It requires a lot of my attention, as opposed to one of these here that I just shave with so much that it's like, you know, it's just second nature to me. I just whip it around the face and everything works out just fine. And I've been able to use a number of different blades in these Parker razors. Matter of fact, I've used a different blade. I don't think I have repeated a blade just yet through all the shavers that I shaved with this month. And been able to get pretty good shaves with, you know, some are smoother than others, but that also might be due to me using a lighter weight shaver and me trying to adjust on the one shave instead of using it, you know, day after day for a week or for a month, for instance, you know, where you get really familiar with the shaver and what works best for you. If you haven't used any Vie Long's aftershave, you definitely want to shake them. I don't know of one of hers that you don't have to shake. I'll put it that way. And it is not alcohol based. This one here has got witch hazel in it, and that menthol is really working. Feels great this morning. These aftershaves, matter of fact, that's what the restrictor looks like. There we go. Are inexpensive in comparison to a number of other artisans. In other words, you're still able to pick this up for, I think, right around $10. And I think if you want menthol, you just add $1 to it. I have several of these aftershaves, and they're inexpensive, and they're in plastic bottles, usually a little smaller, easier for me to store. A while back I moved, and the one thing I did notice is having these consistently the same size sure did make packing a whole lot easier. It was great. I really like these containers in the way, the shape, the size. I like the glass, don't get me wrong, I really do like that, but when it comes to packing, it was being very careful in transporting my aftershaves that are in glass containers. Try to, because you know, I wrap them really well so it takes up more room in the box, but at any rate, I didn't lose not one of them. Once again, this was the shaver of the day if you need another look at it. See how that handle is shaped? Like I said, I don't think the newer ones have this part right down here. I thought that was a nice touch right there. It's three-piece design. I haven't seen one, maybe kind of hard to see, but it's got India stamped right there on the base plate. And I guess you might say kind of standard as it goes for the shape of the base plate. This one is pretty typical that I've seen. Matter of fact, I got shaving cream. See, I'll show you the other side that might be cleaner. Yep, there you go. That's what the blade looks like, if you can see that. Sometimes I think it's pretty cool, the differences that you'll see in some of the razor blades. And this one here still has numbers on it. So if you're one that likes to keep track of your shaves with those numbers on there, you mark off the numbers as you're going through them. It might help you keep track of how many shaves you got. A little bit of residue there, but it's what the cap looks like. There's the underside. This post seems to be a little bit longer than some others, which I do like. I like the longer post. Had a great shave this morning. Hope everybody's doing well. It's Friday morning, so I'm ready for the weekend. Everybody stay safe and smooth shaves to you.